This is the new Mercedes GL. Now my friend Dwight Adams actually arranged a version of Moves Like Jagger and performed it for the intro they did a few minutes ago. Here's the problem though, this thing doesn't have moves like Jagger, it's American and it's fat. So I'm gonna say moves like Popper, John Popper. Remember that guy who got caught with dope? Alright, anyway, 19% better fuel economy out of this new GL. They say it's an all-American design, it's US specific. It has a feel of luxury, they say, and a feel of value. Well, given that the old one had the feel of a Tonka toy and the reliability of a broken Tonka toy, let's hope the new GL has moves like something other than the old GL. Alright, let's say that you really want a Honda CR-V, but you're just too ashamed to be seen in a Honda CR-V. New Mercedes GLK is for you. It's facelifted. It is not all new. It's a facelifted item. And we now have a GLK 250 Blue Tech, so a small diesel, and that is a first for this market. So in that respect, it is different from a CR-V. You can tell your neighbors that's why you bought it. Enclave. The upscale experience from the moment you pull the gated lever. Whoa. Woo! Look at we're riding the wave now, boys. Riding the wave. Woohoo! Every guitar player and guitar collector in the world has heard about kinds of woods that you probably never have. Paw Ferro, Cocobolo, Koa, Wenge, things like that. Now, there's some kind of wood in this thing. I don't know what it is. I've heard it called tiger wood. I'm pretty sure it's plastic. In fact, I'm 950% sure it's plastic, and that's a scientific assessment. I'm sitting in the new Buick Enclave. It's supposed to be more upscale. It's supposed to be more suburban, family-friendly, Lexus killing or whatever. I want you to look inside this thing and tell me what you think of the interior. And, yeah. Okay, everybody grab your bags and let's go. Let me tell you, I am so excited. I'm in front of the new Impala. Finally, a Chevrolet with everything that people really want from the brand. Rear-wheel drive, unmistakable dynamic styling that excites everybody while still being family-friendly. We got a selection of durable powertrains. Anybody can fix it. It's possibly the greatest Impala ever. And I am just thrilled to, actually this is not the new Impala at all. Okay, it turns out this is the new Impala, not the one over there, and that's far more disappointing because what this appears to be is some kind of lacrosse XTS Epsilon car. The fun thing about it is for the first time in about 20 years you can buy the same car as a Cadillac and a Chevy. Not since we had that BC body thing with all those LT1 powered Caprices and Fleetwoods have we had just a straight GM badge job, put the same thing all the way up and down the lineup. So it's exciting from a perspective of those of us who talk about cars. If you're actually buying a car, I don't know how exciting this Impala is going to be, but let's face it, if you're buying this Impala, chances are you're a giant faceless corporation that's just looking to stuff your fleet full of these things. So whether or not the thing looks like an Azera or a lacrosse or an Across designed to look like an Azera, doesn't really matter. What's important is that you get 3 choices of engine and a improved interior, along with a rather terrifying looking screen that slides up to reveal nothing. Looks like it'll break right off. That's about all we got. BMW has a couple North American debuts at the show. First one, BMW 6 Series Grand Coupe. Just an amazingly timid, depressing piece of design. You know, if the CLS was for men who were too henpecked to actually buy a 2-door car, this is 100 times worse. I can barely tell it's a coupe. You know, the only thing you can say about it is it looks better than the 6 Series Real Coupe, which is also an aesthetic embarrassment. Next we have the BMW X1. This was a product that they said wasn't going to come here. Apparently their mad rush to have every piece of every segment of every market is critical. So here we have, I don't know what competes with this, maybe the Geo Tracker. So this is a German Geo Tracker. Make of that what you will, and we're going to hear about what a great driving machine it is. You know, probably save your money and buy a Mazda CX-5. Finally, just as an ultimate kick in the teeth to those of us who have loved BMW for decades, we have the M6 convertible. Now, you remember the original M6? It was a purpose-built coupe, high-revving 6-cylinder, 256 horsepower for us, more for the Euros, but the thing just breathed purpose from every pore. Now what we have a twin-turbo V8 convertible. It's gone from the Autobahn to Beverly Hills. You know, I understand that the thing's primarily aimed at sheiks in Dubai and people have just won the lottery, but it's just depressing to see this vehicle put forth as the best that the M division can do. You're looking at one of the signature features of the new Lincoln MKZ. This sunroof, which moves pretty far back. This is almost like a glass spoiler wing hanging off the top of the car. I don't think it'll actually take off when it runs, but it's a measure of how bold the styling and the thinking behind this car is, that you actually have a whole glass panel that lifts up and moves back like this. I've never seen anything of this size. Maybe in an old CRX you had something that's proportionally the same size as this, but a huge piece of glass doing something very interesting. There are interesting styling touches all over this car. From the back, which is kind of a 77 Scirocco meets Jetsons car, to this very controversial baleen whale front grille, of which I'm not a fan. Some of you may like it better. The interior, we go to a push-button shifter to take an uninterrupted horizontal sweep across the dashboard. This is nothing like a Fusion. You know, no matter what you think of Lincoln or what you think of the brand's chances in the future, you have to admit that what they've come up with here is something that's distinctive and different. And if you want proof, just hit the sunroof button. Two generations ago, the Nissan Altima redefined our expectations of what a sporty Japanese family sedan could be. You had the 3.5-liter V6 coupled with a 6-speed transmission. You actually had at one point an Altima SER that was just a fantastically focused, interesting vehicle. The generation after that did very little to move the car forward. Now we have yet another melting, if you will, another refinement of a car. And what have we got? We've got a car that looks vaguely like the Altima did 2 generations ago. We've got a 270 horsepower 3.5-liter V6. I mean, Nissan is standing still. The competition has gone up 100 horsepower in their competitive V6s. So about the only thing that's really making any numbers news is a claimed 38 miles per gallon from the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. I cannot believe that. If it's true, it would be interesting to see, but we just haven't seen 4-cylinders of that size put up that kind of mileage in cars like this. So I would say this is more of an evolutionary change when we were hoping for a revolution.
Rolling.
We're going to start off by having some beef with Derek Krendler over at Truth About Cars. In his groundbreaking coverage of this RLX concept, he said that the base model had 4-wheel steerings like Honda's Prelude. Well, let me tell you, son, you were not even alive then, but I was there. And the first 4-wheel steering Prelude had mechanical 4-wheel steering. That's right, a worm and roller gear connected to the steering wheel. It's such a crazy idea, nobody else ever did it. Nowadays, Acura is doing it the same way everybody else does it, electromechanically. Guess what else is electromechanical? The drive to the rear wheels themselves. That's right. Why use worm and roller gears to steer the back of the car when you can have electronic actuators do it? Why power the back wheels of the car with differentials when you can have an electric motor do it? Well, I have an idea for you, Acura. Why have a front-wheel drive luxury car? Forget I said anything. All right, we're going to continue on. The RL's been the weak sister in this segment for a long time. Acura's finally doing what they promised a long time ago when they brought out the brand. They're going to apply some original advanced thinking. So, electronic rear wheels. Not too bad, right? We're finally going to see that advanced technology they keep talking about. Until then, all advanced technology has been things like, oh, I don't know, Honda Accords with a big beak on them. But now we're going to get something completely different. A vehicle that has hybrid propulsion, not just hybrid power.